Whoop.
Barcelona is an easy city to love. It's full of vitality and energy. It's modern, prosperous. And awash with history and culture.
When you think about the history of Barcelona, this isn't one of the places that would normally come to mind. It's the Plaza del Rey, and where it is, it's actually the very spot where when Christopher Columbus came back from the New World, he came here to those very steps behind me to report his findings to the King and Queen of Spain.
A few hundred metres away, just beside the cathedral, in a narrow street, you can still see the carved stone seal of the Spanish Inquisition on the wall of the building that was once its headquarters.
What's really surprising about Barcelona is not that it's old. Everyone knows that it's old. In fact, that wall behind me was built by the Romans over 2,000 years ago. What's really surprising about Barcelona is how young the city is. In fact, it didn't really begin to expand until the 1860s, and when it did, it had some of the most inspired urban planning that there was anywhere in the world.
It gave the city its distinctive city blocks, with wide streets and chamfered corners. The higher floors were for apartments, while the ground level was for businesses and jobs. It was a vision for a living, people-friendly city. This was when Barcelona obtained its distinctive street tiles. One of them, the flower, has become a de facto symbol for the city. In 1888, the new Barcelona hosted a World Fair to celebrate its changes. You can still see the wrought iron street lamps on the path to what has now become the city's main public park, the Parc de la Ciutadella. In 1929, the city hosted a second expo, this time on the other side of the city. The 1929 Expo was to showcase technological progress and modern industry. One of its lasting legacies remains as the magic fountains. A timeless spectacle, by night or by day. In the early 20th century, Barcelona was a very rich city, but the prosperity was not shared. You can still see the uneven wealth distribution in some of the private buildings in Passage de Gracia, celebrating the owner's status and access to modern technology. Some of these buildings are now celebrated as tourist drawcards, but the inequality they represented led to massive social tensions that would eventually divide the city and the nation and lead to a great tragedy.
If you're a fan of the Olympics, you might recognise that structure behind me is the cauldron from the '92 Olympic Games in Barcelona. This here behind me is the main entrance. But what you might not know is that the facade here was actually not built for the '92 Games, but for the 1936 People's Games, which are held here in Barcelona as an alternative to the Berlin Olympics, which was seen as fascist. Unfortunately, the Spanish Civil War broke out a few days before the People's Games were supposed to start, so they never actually happened.
In the Civil War, Barcelona fought against the fascists, but the city paid a very high price. Air raids targeted civilians, the first ever terror bombing against a major city. And the war did not go well. After 32 bitter months, just before World War II would begin, Spain fell to the fascists. It was the beginning of a long, dark period. In the very same stadium intended for the People's Games half a century before, that long dark period ended with the 1992 Olympics. And Barcelona had prepared with its usual style.
This sculpture behind me, which looks like sort of like an Olympic torch, is actually a communications tower which was built specifically for the 1992 Olympic Games. But of course, being in Barcelona, they had to make it into a work of art as well.
The base of the tower is covered with trencadis, the mosaic technique of using broken tile shards. It's an homage to the Catalan architect and hero Antoni Gaudi. The Olympics revitalised Barcelona on a scale not seen since the 1929 World Expo. Over $10 billion was invested, and the opportunities were not wasted. Even now, almost 30 years later, the city is still enjoying the benefits.
The marina behind me was built specifically for the 92 Olympic Games. It's where they hosted the sailing events. But more importantly, the whole foreshore here was cleaned up. They extended the Corso by 2 kilometres or more, 3 kilometres. It's become one of the most popular parts of the city on a lovely sunny day.
Here now. And what's... Gamma here. Just trying to guess it.
Barcelona is now a cosmopolitan and sophisticated city. It has a modern and efficient public transport system with fully integrated ticketing that works everywhere. The city is also one of the major hubs in Spain's intercity rail network, which means Barcelona is extremely well connected. It's become a city with a wonderful, energetic and creative buzz.
Hey, sweet girls. Hi.
Even in the quiet moments, there's plenty to delight. I love the Catalan sense of whimsy, and if you look, you see it everywhere.
This is Barcelona's famous Rambla. It's the middle of summer, and normally this place would be completely packed with tourists and hawkers and pickpockets and everybody else, but not anymore, not today, in the time of Corona.
If you've been to Barcelona as a tourist, you may not recognise some parts of the city. The absence of tourists has been particularly hard in the old city. But the old city is still very much a place where people live. Life has to go on. People are adapting. The city still has all of its charms. It may be less crowded right now, but if ever there was a resilient city, Barcelona is it. It's an easy city to love.